Hello everyone, this is Mukundan Raghavan. This video we are going to see how to solve the merge conflicts. Let's get into the video. We have seen possible merge scenarios. However, merge conflict happens when person A and person B both updates the same file and the same lines of code. In that scenario, we need the manual conflict resolution. How to do that? Let's get into the scenario. Try to understand this story. There is a remote repository. Person A clones the repository. Person B clones the repository. Person A, after cloning, that person creates a future branch using the main branch. Then he makes the changes. After making the changes, he commits in the local repository. Then before merging to the main repository, he pulls the changes in case if somebody updated in the main branch. By this time, nobody has changed in the remote repository. So pulling changes from the main repository will not give any problem. Then he switches to the main branch. Then he just merges his own branch, which might be the future branch. Now, at this point of time, the changes of the person A is already overwritten into the remote repository. Since this all thing happened after the clone of both persons, these changes which are happening in the remote repository is not available to the person B. Still the person B has old set of code. Then after the person B changes the code, same file, same lines. And she also commits that code into the local repository. Before merging with the main repository, she pulls all the changes from the main repository, especially from the remote repository. Obviously, you know that by this time, something has changed by the same person A. So when you pull that, it will give the merge conflict. Now, person B has to connect with person A. Both have to discuss which one is correct. Either person A changes or person B changes or both changes. Once they decide what kind of code has to go, they will update and they will resolve the conflict. After manually resolving the conflict, even this is also one kind of change. They need to commit that. After committing, they will push it to the remote repository, which will be the last step. So this is the entire story, a simple scenario about resolving the merge conflict. Let's see in the explanation flow perspective. As you know already, cloning the repository, both person clones at the same time. Person A changes the text file or the code file. Then he pulls the changes from the remote repository. Since there was no change, so there will not be any impact. Then person A pushes the changes. Person B also make the changes, pulls the latest changes. However, in this time, person A changes comes inside the person B area. It creates a merge conflict because changes has been made in the same part of the code. Then they are solving, they are pushing the code back to the remote repository. Even we have seen in the explanation flow point of view. Let's do the practical. There are multiple remote repositories. We are going to use the GitHub repository. Here you already have the repository called merge demo and you have only one file called welcome.py. It could be any language, it could be any text files, but still we can use the simple file. And here this is the URL that you will be using for the cloning. The same way I have created two folders, person A and person B. Let's mimic the same scenario that we discussed. Now here you can see both persons are going to clone the repository. Now we have cloned the repository. Next one, change it to that folder. Let's now focus on the person A. Now he is inside the project, he is in the main branch. Now we are going to create the future branch. We can create the branch and checkout in all together in a single step by using the -b, git checkout b, future A branch. And obviously by this time, if you go to the remote repository, even though we created the branch, you cannot see the branch details. Since both has the same kind of code, even we can push it to the remote repository at this point of itself. Here git push -u upstream because at this point of time, there is no branch future A inside the remote. So it is the first time we are pushing upstream. And obviously origin means you know already it is the remote URL. Enter. Now if you go to the remote repository and just refresh, you can see future A branches there. But obviously both will be having the same code. Let's clear the screen. Now go to the person A, git person A and open this file. This is a simple print message. Welcome to our application. Let's say future A application. Simple update. Now let's go to here. Let's type git status and you can see the .py and backup file. We can ignore the .bak. It is a backup file. Even we can delete that. Now again git status. It is only the welcome.py. Clear the screen. Git difference. If it is a small kind of changes, you can use the console itself to see the difference. Here you can see what is the change has been made by the person A. If you are happy with that, then git add, then file name. Now we will commit it, future A change, enter. Now we have made our changes, we have committed locally. Before merging to the main remote branch, let's pull the changes from the main to see if somebody has changed the main after we clone. So for that, git pull the changes from the origin, which is remote, and the branches main. Now since there is no change, it's already up to date. Now we are going to merge to the main branch. Since we know when you want to merge future branch to the main branch, we should be in the main branch. So for that, git checkout main. Now, if you mention git merge the future branch, you are bringing the future branch into the main branch. So git merge and then future A. Now we have merged with the main branch, but this main still in local. In order to make this available in the remote, we need to push it. Git push origin to the main branch. Yes, now we have completed everything from the person A perspective. Now go to the remote repository and make sure it is available. If I go to the welcome.py, here you can see it is future A application. Now let's jump into the person B. And even you can go into the folder for the person B. If you open this code, still it can be only the old code before the future A application has been updated. So let's go to the terminal and we are going to do the same thing. CD, just switch to the folder, then create the future branch, git checkout -b future B. Since this branch is not available at this point of time to the remote repository, we can push upstream. So git push -u upstream origin remote URL future branch. We are pushing to the future branch. Obviously, there is no future B branch. So it will push for the first time with upstream, which is -u. Enter. Now if we go to the remote repository, now here you can see just now we push the future B branch. Obviously, at this point of time, there are a lot of changes, but let's keep as it is. Because when you create the future branch as a person B, you use the local repository, which was main. So with that point, let's jump into the next step. Now we have pushed also, let's make the changes. And here we will make the changes to future B latest. So this is a change I am making as a person of person B. And coming to the future B, git status, again backup file, remove the backup file, only welcome.py, clear that. Now git difference, here you can see future B latest application, that's good. Git add, welcome.py, we are adding to the staging area. Git commit -m, future B changes. We committed also. So now when we try to merge with the main branch, let's pull the main branches. Now this is where the main picture starts. Git pull origin main. Now you can see there is a merge conflict because when you pull the current changes from the main branch, it has the person A changes and we are updating on the same line of code. So it will create the merge conflict. How it looks like. Let's open the same file, reload it. Here you can see these are the different symbols that we can see. It is showing head. Head means the current branch. In current branch, we are pointing to that. Just to confirm, here you can see we are in the future B. In the future B, we have the code of future B latest application. And this one is the divider between your current branch and the branch that is incoming. In our case, the incoming branch is main branch. In main branch, we have the another message, which is welcome to the future A application. Even since it's already existing changes from the main branch or the incoming branch, it gives the commit ID also. For example, if you go to the commit ID for this, you can see here two commits, click on that. And here you can see future A. It starts with 6B780, 6B780. Then it will be the alphanumeric, as you know. Yes, so it is telling from the main branch, future A change commit is coming in this line. So here there are two options. Either you can call the another person A and you can both discuss and just confirm which code has to go first. Either A or B or both A and B or neither of A or B. This can be done manually and you can update the file using any simple editor. However, if you want to manually resolve these conflicts very effectively, you can use a lot of tools. One of those would be VS Code Editor. If you open the VS Code Editor, go to the settings and before going to the file or folder, just type git merge editor and enable this. So it will be helpful for you. Now go to the file, open folder. Since we are doing the actions as a person B, let's go to the person B folder. Merge demo, click OK. Now as soon as you load this, you will be seeing the same content. But since we enabled that merge editor in the settings icon, we can just click on resolve in merge editor. Here the beauty comes. Here you can see this is the incoming from the main branch, origin main, which tells future A. This is the current branch, which is future B, and it is telling future B latest. Now, this is the result, the final result. Here, there is no change accepted. Now, you need to decide which one has to go inside. For example, if I click on accept incoming, it will take the incoming one, which is from the main. Again, I am click on remove. Now, if I mention accept current, which is in our future B, then future B latest application will come. Again, I can remove that. Just go remove current. Now I can mention both also, accept incoming, accept current. Then it will be the next line after next line. So in this stage, you will have both the things. But the main catch here is like, if you resolve the conflict, you need to be knowing the technology or the programming language, as well as the business need or the Jira story or the actual requirement. Why? Because it is not about just solving the merge conflict. It's about the technology or the language standards that we are following. And second one could be the business need actually for the coming deployment or for coming, let's say, user availability, which feature is required. So in that case, you should discuss in all the perspective, then decide. For example, I can accept both changes, but in the Python language perspective, you cannot create two variables with same name. So you need to consider all the perspective, then you decide. So in that scenario, let's say I want to have the future B. Then in that case, I will just remove again everything, just accept only the current one and complete merge. This is a simple example. In reality, you might be having the different lines of code, different functionalities, everything is fine. Even though we can commit from here, let's go to the terminal as we are working on the terminal always. Now here, if you just go git status, now here you can see, I think I can clear the screen, git status. Now everything is ready. There are no merge conflicts. Now git add, now git commit, manual merge conflict resolution, done. Now we have done all the changes in our future B branch. Since we are going to bring this to the main branch, because every time you create the future branches for the different requirements, at the end you will be merging to the main branch. As we discussed already, when you make the changes available into the main branch, then you should be in the main branch. So for that, git checkout main, git merge, future B. Yes, we merged to the main branch. Still, this is not available in your remote repository. Just to confirm, let's go to the code. We accepted latest future B branches or latest B. Here you cannot see that because we have not pushed it. Git push origin main. Now we have pushed to the remote main. Now if you refresh the main branch, you can see future B latest application. So this way we can have the manual merge conflict resolution either by a simple text editor or VS Code. Then after that we can push to the main branch. So this is a simple scenario we have discussed how to resolve the merge conflict manually. And this is all about this video, and always be a rainbow in others cloud.